But are we though?
You are.
You know who's not alive? The dinosaurs.
That's true.
They're
That's
dead.
true.
They are all dead.
I didn't know if you were going like with Epstein or,
No, he-
like where are we going with this one?
he's alive. Hey, we're 30 seconds in. Channel strike. Hi, good morning. It's the 23rd of October, 2025. Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. We are Refuge Medical. Good question mark. It's been this week is
We are a 5-year-old refuge.
yeah, we are.
medical.
That's good. That will be commensurate with our behavior. Yes, we're 5 years and 2 days old.
So you know how a 4-year-old turns 5 and then now they got a little bit of sass.
Is that what's happening this morning? I can do it, Dad. Okay, sure.
I'm big now.
I'm
All right.
A little more independence.
just a little bit.
We've done pretty good over 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've done pretty good 5 years.
Mucho proud of.
My favorite thing right now is the one guy who called to cancel his order on the same day that it was literally about to go to shipping. Literally, it was literally the next order going to shipping, and my wife spent like 30 minutes with him on the phone, just like confirming, "Are you sure?" And he was, I don't know if he was having a bad day or if he's just an asshole or what, but he's like, "No, cancel my order." Like, okay, cool, here's your refund. And literally, and then that happens, then ding, the next thing that sold, like that morning, like it was moments later, was the kit that he was gonna buy. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's going out the door either way. It just might have your name on it or not. And then that guy has seen fit to attempt to engage in a one-man shit-talking campaign on the internet. It's cool, man. Hey, 807 West Broadway, Spiro, Oklahoma, Monday through Thursday. Come see me. Like
Or
we're
me.
here.
I'm into that
Or
kind of
yeah,
thing.
it's
Let's do
great.
this.
The 51,000 plus happy customers would be very happy to have your first aid kit that you were refunded for.
Dude,
In
for
fact, it's
real.
already out the door and in service somewhere.
Like we
So,
work very hard for this kind of
It's
stuff.
like our only
you know.
one-star review.
you know, hey, you can't make them all happy, and that's fine. But I just the poetic justice of like, sir, here's your refund, ding, and
But how much of that was like, because I'm not privy to the entirety of the situation, but like, I know years ago we were like, hey, if it's on the website, we got it. You're getting that thing, next day. We're doing this. We're not going to sell it to you if it's not here. That was years ago. So it's like the geopolitical,
I've been
the economic situation and everything across the board has completely changed.
I've been communicating that for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
At least since October 7th, 2023, Israel Hamas. I've been communicating that, hey, the calculus has changed.
Yeah.
There's a red banner at the top of the website that says all orders are built to order, because they are. We also didn't have an in-house sew team at that time.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Blah, blah, blah. So, like, we have expedient shipping. We have expedient fulfillment. I think we have great customer service. We go out of our way to help people. We've had plenty of people who've called and been in a bad mood. Plenty. And then they get off the phone and they're not in a bad mood anymore. I don't know how many thousands of people we prayed with on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked off a ledge.
Oh, yeah.
And it's an honor and it's a blessing. But some people just want to be butthurt. It's like, all right, man, there's, you know what, go buy something from China. I pray you never need it.
Seriously, we pray that you don't need
yeah,
it.
I genuinely, Lauren, can you grab that, check me that TQ right there.
Because that
Right
thing
there on
gonna
the top
fail.
shelf.
This one?
Yeah.
That's not a tourniquet.
Yeah, I know. Pretend tourniquet.
That's right.
Oh, no, that's not it.
That is not a tourniquet.
There's something up there that looks like a tourniquet. It's not a soft tee. No, hold on. I'm hallucinating. That's
Yeah,
at
you
the
are.
other office.
I was like, there's
Okay,
Anyway.
I'm looking.
Where
there's
did I
not
see
this
that
thing that you say
I ran
that
into
you're
that
seeing.
U-line tourniquet. Oh, I think it was at the
Oh wait, is that what
training class.
No, it's right here. This is the U-line.
The U.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it?
dude.
Oh, that thing's the worst. We've tried to show this thing on camera before.
And there's so much potential. Like if there were just a few details that they would have done differently, would have made it great.
It's just the worst. The quick tight tourniquet. Assembly in China. Acme United Corporation. This might be before your time, but have you ever seen Looney Tunes?
Oh, of course.
Okay, and everything came from Acme Corp.
Bro, I was a Saturday morning cartoon kid.
Yeah.
Like,
So was Acme known for their like build quality?
I don't think so.
No, everything it literally exploded, right?
Or fell apart.
Yeah, usually in Bugs Bunny's face. And it's the same people, Acme United Corporation. There's almost poetic justice in that. Totally from China. Let's zoom all the way out. Let's talk about some strategic stuff here. Why should you care? Why does this matter? Let me paint a picture for you, okay? We, the Estados Unidos, the United States of America, just hang with me here. I'm going to go for a couple of minutes of explanation, but trust me, I'm going to land the plane. And we're going to talk about planes after that.
I like planes.
Yeah, plane. I like privately owned planes. These publicly owned planes just keep falling out of the sky, and then these, the air traffic controllers keep going on strike, and they're not on strike. It's a federal shutdown. Okay, just same shit.
Sounds like a bunch of BS to me.
It does, doesn't it? Anyway.
Notice how the world keeps working, though?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I got this thing called a pickup truck. It doesn't fly, but
So is that like 3 or 4 weeks worth of taxes that we don't have to pay because...
Bro, I wish. I just sent in our quarterly taxes. You know what? Let's not dwell on that.
I'm already hurting.
Let's have a happy show.
I can only imagine.
Every time I have to give the federal government 6 figures, it's like, for what? I didn't see you over here in the sew shop next to Terry and John and Christine. You haven't made anything. You didn't pack boxes.
And all you're doing is giving the money away.
Like, if there was an IRS dude
Or
in here
losing it.
putting Band-Aids and baggies, I'd be like, maybe. He's not worth what I send you, but like maybe. At least there's a little quid pro quo here. There's none of that. There's just none of that. Okay, so there was an attempted coup twice here in the United States of America. What do I mean by that? Okay, so Butler, Pennsylvania, okay, which we all know that guy wasn't acting by himself, right? And then dude with SKS, I believe it was, on the golf course in Florida, right? And then so that's twice, okay? So 2 attempts at a coup. What's it, violent or nonviolent overthrow of the governing authorities. Then they just recently found
very gay.
a deer stand overlooking, just say, key terrain, okay? So deer stand, clear line of sight on POTUS, President of the United States. Okay, that's an indicator. So that's 2 known attempts at a coup right there, violent overthrow. What people don't realize is this country is currently in the midst of a revolution. It's just a soft revolution so far.
Very soft.
Not a hard revolution. Why do you see the Democrats talking about, why are they anti-ICE, anti-deportations? Well, multiple reasons. So think for decades now, people, and not all these people who have come here are bad, just to rightly divide that, but many of them are. Whether it's legally or illegally, a lot of these people who have come into this country are nefarious. And you'll get the talking points of, well, it's to change the electoral college. Yes, that's true. It's, so the Democrats locally or certain whatever, and by the way, I'm no apologist for the Republicans either. We'll get there in a moment. So that so you got the demographics, you've got the electoral college, you've got the voter base for local and state elections, right? Yes, all that's accurate. But they're also, I've been saying this for several years now, they're a fail-safe, the people who have been brought in by the Democratic Party. So who has bought off the Democratic Party? Not talking about the Republicans, because they're also bought off by some of the same players and some different players, okay? But who have bought them off? Well, they literally were reporting on this during the Biden administration, when Biden improved, redecorated the Oval Office, with Chinese listening devices, okay? Think about the Clintons and NAFTA, North American Free Trade Association, free trade agreement rather. Okay, so China. Remember, China has a 400-year plan, and every 4 years we can't figure out who should run this country. Okay, they have a 400-year plan to replace the United States of America as the world's lone superpower. So these people are a failsafe if/when things go hot. And I would submit to you when things go hot here in the United States of America, because it's going to be everything, everywhere, all at once. All the bad actors acting bad at the same time. So we are in the midst of currently a soft revolution, which will likely go hard at some point. We'll go from soft power, political influence, coercion, money, to hard power, force, the use of force.
Yeah.
And so right now, on a few key occasions, the use of force has risen above the threshold of detection, like Butler, Pennsylvania, like Charlie Kirk, like we're starting to see this. Why is Antifa designated a domestic terrorist organization? It's not because of the blue hairs on the ground. It's because of the upper echelons of Antifa and who they're tied into. And why is Antifa allied with the Democrats? Because it gives them an action arm at the ground level versus you look at Trump's, the air quote, Republican action arm at the ground level. That's, we have ICE, we have the DOJ, we have the FBI to a lesser extent with Cash and Dan Bongino in there, neither of which I'm very impressed with, et cetera, et cetera. At the same time, that below the threshold of detection, all the strings on the marionettes are being pulled by those who have already bought influence in the current and former regimes of the leadership of the United States of America.
Right.
All this is revolutionary. Things are about to change. And so I put this on your radars for a reason, because there are many of y'all out there that I still haven't been able to talk into just carrying a tourniquet. Just carry a tourniquet. It's all I would like for you to do. Just carry a real tourniquet. Not this piece of shit from Acme Incorporated that's going to explode when you take it out of the crate every time Bugs Bunny ordered something from Acme. That's trash. Just carry a real tourniquet. That's too much of a heavy lift for a lot of people. And what you don't realize is you just carrying a tourniquet only solves 1/2 of the M in S-March-E.
100%.
That's it. Right? Limb tourniquets, they're great, and we all need to have them on us.
It's because they can't rationalize anything outside of their normalcy bias, which is quite legitimately the reason why if anything happens, the SHTF, you call it what you want, Teotihuacan, I don't care, right? The moment that happens, I would submit that 1/3 of the U.S. population will die in 36 hours just because of not being able to quantify outside of their normalcy bias.
Deer in the headlights. Deer in the headlights. Now,
Paralysis by analysis. You don't know what to do. You lose all will and desire to fight. Like
overwhelm.
complete.
Nationwide condition black when
Yeah.
it comes to situational awareness, because the prefrontal cortex no longer works because it's been overloaded with stimulus, part of which is intentional. Right? You see this with the media. Well, the left says this, the right says this. This is media in general, whether it's legacy media, mainstream media, social media, new age media, podcasts.
Got ourselves a super chat. Thank you,
Kimberly
Kimberly.
Dick, that's Nurse Doc. Thanks, Kimmy Dick.
Bless you.
Appreciate you. Nurse Doc's awesome. She's been on deployment with us many times. You know
I feel
her.
like I know Kimberly.
You know.
Okay,
you
I'm
would
just
know
not
her.
like placing name to face.
You would know her if I showed you a picture.
I'm sure I would.
She's phenomenal. You may know her from some of her greatest hits, to include Hurricane Helene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, tremendous human being. So think about media, right? Now, let's overlay on top of media CNN versus Fox News, which I know nobody watches either of those anymore, but let's just use that as a legacy media example. Have you heard the phrase Hegelian dialectic? Thesis, antithesis, synthesis in the middle. You control the thesis and the antithesis, argument, counter-argument. You control the synthesis, the conclusions that people reach in the middle. And so that's done intentionally to push a far left narrative and a far right narrative, knowing that 80+% of people are going to fall somewhere in the middle and come to their own conclusions about a narrative that has no bearing on their well-being in the first place. And then you overload these 80% of people plus, it's probably 95% of people if we're going to be honest, 95% plus of people's prefrontal cortexes with narratives that don't actually matter and are craftily designed in order to be red herrings to take your attention off of the things that do matter. And then people are running around thinking that they're informed because they've filled their brain with narratives that are intentionally crafted that you're either going to pick the thesis or the antithesis. Well, I'm hard left, I'm hard right, whatever it is. Or you're going to, generally speaking, develop your own synthesis, which doesn't matter because you have your own opinions on a narrative that has no actual bearing on you. All of it is information warfare and psyops. All of it, the whole thing. What do you mean? It's actual psychological operations? They're working on your brain. I would call that psychological.
Right.
It's psychological. And so the Pastor Joe Fox of Viking Preparedness says this all the time. Contemplate the unthinkable, right? And so just carrying a tourniquet, it's like, yeah, you should carry a tourniquet as part of your EDC. We do, but not just tourniquets. I got 2 blowout kits on me right now. Not because I want to be cool, because I factually in real life have required more than 1 blowout kit on me on multiple occasions in my life. And here's one of the points I'm driving at. You know, my brother Heath here brings up the end of the world as we know it, without rule of law, Teotihuacan, whatever freaking acronym you want to get down on.
Yeah.
The world hadn't ended yet, and I don't know how many times I've rendered aid, intervened for the preservation of life. I'm going to go with dozens, low dozens, 2 to 3 dozen times. And so medical is one of those preps that,
I've not had to that many times, but I've definitely had to,
yeah,
you know, and
I think part of why the Father made me is to respond to car wrecks. Genuinely speaking, man, there was a period it was about 4 months long. It was like once a week. I was like, what is happening here? And if it's not car wrecks, it's some dope fiend on the side of the road OD'd on fentanyl or something,
Right.
something like that, right? Injured / sick people and motor vehicles is like, yeah, it's just like, and here's another one, and here's another one, and here's another one, which is part of the concept I'm driving somewhere with this as we talk about the degradation of the United States of America as we know it. What's up?
Beartron said, tourniquet, right arm, go.
Beartron said that? Oh, okay.
darn it, Bertrand.
Tourniquet, right arm, go. Do we got any TQs in there? Should I use that thing? The
I
Acme
thought
code?
about it just because it's
know,
in
I
front of me.
It's so bad. What do you got there? Soft tea?
Yeah.
Me too.
Someone said, is tea causing Rex to respond to?
Little did they know.
Yeah, it's good for business.
Just getting practice in, you know.
It's good for business. So, regardless of what happens in the world, med preps matter. They matter today, not just when the world ends. Come on. All right. So, with that being said, I want everybody to carry a tourniquet and know how to use it. Above and beyond that, I want everybody to carry more than a tourniquet. So, from the DoD, DOW side, we have this concept called line gear, right? It's a layered approach to carrying the equipment that you need to have on you in order to maintain combat power, shoot, move, communicate, sustain. There's another concept, comes out of SOCOM, and it has been applied all the way down to infantry units in the Corps and in the Army, and that is ruck, truck, house, plane.
Yep.
Ruck, truck, house, plane. And so there's a term that we are coining around here. Medic Mike came to me with this term on Tuesday. I talked about it on my channel on Wednesday, yesterday, and I'm going to introduce you all to it now. And that term, and remember, you heard it here first, okay, because you're going to hear it other places because Refuge participates unwillingly in a large amount of R&D for the industry because we come up with something cool and then some shills like, I don't know, Refuge Medical steal our shit. I just sneezed, man. That's crazy. Because if I hadn't sneezed, that totally would have been slander. But that's fine. Once in court, I don't give a shit.
I heard. I'm trying. It was
Yeah.
normal sneeze.
Yeah. So in any event, um,
Uh,
you know how because they're here in this state too. You know how many times I've been tempted to just show up at their HQ, like, "What's up, bitches?
just say hi.
Give me
Reached
my
out to us the other
give me
day.
my designs back."
I want
Um,
royalties.
Someone from China reached out, and it looked like they were in conjunction with Rhino Rescue, like their label thing at the bottom.
uh-huh.
I was like, no, we don't want to work with you.
So this term I'm introducing to you is crew-served medicine. Just like you'd have a crew-served weapon, where you have multiple people assigned to the weapon, carrying ammunition, sustainment for the weapon, spare parts, whatever it is, okay? Crew-served medicine. And I bring this up because the potential threats that I see on the horizon are going to require more than a tourniquet in your pocket. So when we look at a layered approach to med, I got to have my med on me for me. That's what an IFAC is. It's an individual first aid kit. So if I have an IFAC for me and Heath doesn't have one for him, and I get you.
I got a problem.
I get you. Some of y'all are going, yeah, you know, on my line gear, on my deuce gear, on my load bearing vest, on my plate carrier, I'm not just talking about that
What
because,
about your pocket?
right, most of us are not running around with that stuff on day to day. 3% of the world's population wears body armor for a job. 3%. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. Please hold. So, I got to have stuff for me. I also need to have stuff for anybody else. I got this on good. You got it on good?
Yeah.
Okay. What's it been? A couple minutes?
Your arm is turning purple, Heath.
Yeah.
It looks weird.
Yep.
So does yours, actually.
I think we've passed the test.
Great success.
Thank you, Bertrand. So,
Oh boy.
yeah.
Oh, that
The soft tea be like that, yo.
Default index, we're good. Sorry,
instant
guys. My
relief.
bad.
Thanks, Ryan.
And I think I saw in the chat somebody put a tourniquet on while they were driving.
That's amazing.
William S. Good job, dude.
So,
Is it though?
yeah.
I mean, why not?
I
why
mean,
not?
You've
I mean,
seen
you-
Dudley drive. You know, Dudley does 19 things while driving.
He edits videos.
Yeah.
While filming a video.
He's like, hold on, I'm texting Wrangler Star. I'm also filming a video. I got to post this to socials. Jeez, Roran. So.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, what are you doing? Oh,
My
nothing.
kids. just working.
You know, I don't know if you noticed, the sun is up. So, crew-served medicine. Everybody's got to carry something, not just for their own, feeding their own weapon, if you will, taking care of themselves, but feeding the overarching mission, the crew-served weapon that is medicine here for the preservation of life as well. So,
I really like this.
thanks, man.
That was a good idea.
Thanks, man. It's one of those, I was like, I just need a way to organize these three things in my pocket.
Right.
So they stop falling horizontally in my pocket.
So I got a new EDC flashlight, and I've carried all of my EDC flashlights right here in my left pocket for years. And this one, when it's on turbo mode, it's freaking hot. I melted a hole in the pocket and in through on my newborn primitive pants.
That's tremendous.
No.
Yes.
I
Just because it accidentally turned on. And there's like this switch here that locks it out to keep that from happening. Apparently I didn't lock it out.
You're doing great. You're doing
So
great.
I'm like, I need a new way to carry this.
I really like those pants.
So
Well, they still work.
So I love how ADD we are.
Sorry.
Crew-served medicine, okay? So this concept, ruck, truck, house, plane, is a layered approach.
Back to topic.
Back to topic. So part of the reason my truck is a combination ambulance/gun truck is because of the county that we live in. And that's taking nothing away from the first responders in this county, but it's a large county and there's not enough of them. Okay.
Heavy duty ADD. Striker.
What's up, Striker? So So with that, I know I'm going to be at 100% of my own emergencies. Therefore, I need to be equipped for 100% of my own emergencies based upon my experience here. And my experience here is I keep rolling up on people who've had motor vehicle accidents, some of them with minor injuries, some of them critically injured, some of them overdosing on fentanyl, some of them drunk. And I keep having to intervene for the preservation of life. I think I have one too many folds in this soft tea, which is why it's giving me hell right now. There we go. I got it. That's fine. So if we think about ruck, that's what you're carrying on your person, right? Okay, I got to have not just a tourniquet on me, but I have one soft tea here. I have another soft tea here. Okay, so that's one half of the March algorithm. Limb tourniquets, extremity bleeds. Okay, what's the other half? Junctional areas. So that's your neck, your shoulders, your pelvic girdle, your ass. Okay, so I've got combat gauze here and a pressure bandage.
Yeah. Oh, look.
Gloves?
Wrapper came off.
Oh, yeah, well, it all starts with BSI, body substance isolation.
So we got combat quick clot gauze, which is
Wait, what's that fancy pouch you got?
4 yards. That's 16 feet of a hemostatic
No,
gauze.
it's 12 yards, or 12 feet, but that's a good try.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I did. That's 4
rubbing
times
off
4.
on you.
It's 12. It's 3 times 4. Sorry. There's that. And then we have an ETD.
Because we're going to get people that are going to email and be like, he said that it was.
16 feet. No, it's 12 feet.
He
It's 12.
said the
I'm
combat
sorry.
gauze is 16 yards long.
Now you have no integrity because you
Yeah.
made a mistake.
You're right. The combat gauze is 48 feet long.
Oh, I used my duct tape.
Oh, snap.
I need flat duct tape.
I use my duct tape all the time out of my kits. I do all the time. This one right here is,
Oh, did you just see the cloud
The
of
dust just.
I carry this shit, man. Shears. I've actually used this to render aid, this kit to render aid in a semi versus SUV at a funeral. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So yeah, I've used this much of that duct tape thus far. Because duct tape rules the universe.
I've carried this same kit since the slick kit came out.
Uh-huh.
All the same components. Praise the Father that I've not had to use it. I've had to use my gloves several times, so I've replaced my gloves several times. And of course my duct tape, and I forgot to apparently replace my duct tape again.
So we've got wound packing,
Yeah.
right? Then that leads to airway respiratory, and I group airway respiratory together because it doesn't matter if you can respirate if you don't have an airway.
100%.
It doesn't matter if you have an airway if you can't respirate, right? So I got to have both these things in conjunction. So I've got airway respiratory, I've got chest seals, I've got a naso, I've got the recovery position, chin lift, jaw thrust, all of that. Okay. Circulation, head injury, hypothermia. Yeah, I've got blowout kits on me. I've also got a catheter for needle decompression here, which is not something, man, is it 5 years ago? It's not something that can be taught, but this is kind of like the darling of the tactical medical community right here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey man, teach us needle decompression. It's like, well, you now require funny letters after your name because this is 3 3/4 of an inch long. And if you put it in the wrong place, you're going to stick it into the lungs or into the heart or into the arteries that are in the chest, or possibly veins or nerve bundles. And
if you're not a paramedic at minimum,
you're going to make the situation worse.
100%.
Or an active duty combat lifesaver.
100%.
This is not for you. So, that being said, this is just stuff that I'm bebopping around with on me 24/7 because I've had to use it. And this is my stuff. Now, if we go to the truck, right? Ruck, truck. We go to the truck, I have a personally built EMT bag on there. So like an equivalent of that for y'all would be either the field medic, because you've got diagnostic tools, you've got the entirety of the March algorithm on there, you've got boo-boo stuff, sports medicine injuries, etc. Or maybe a smaller kit than that would be the adventure kit or the OX kit, OSHA compliance kit.
Yep.
The OSHA compliance kit is a great kit to have in a vehicle, especially if you're required by law to have one in your vehicle, per the United States government, aka Occupational Safety Hazard Association or agency or
It
whatever
comes
it
in a
is.
really nice bag.
It comes in a great bag. And here's the thing, much the way we do stuff around here is I look at, all right, what's required to be in this kit?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I compare that against mechanism of injury. It's like, oh, that's a great start, but it also needs all of this.
Right.
So our Ox kit has the entirety of a bare fac, components-wise, inside of it, plus what OSHA says you have to have. So it does all of SMARCH-E, right? Massive hemorrhage, airway, respiratory, circulation, head injury, hypothermia, everything else. But then it also complies with the OSHA requirements for what a kit has to have. So it's a great vehicle kit. It's a great building kit. Let's come to house next. Then we go to the house. Now, my house is a little bit different than everybody else's house, but I have an adventure kit in my home, and I also have the equivalent of a forward surgical unit in my house because I'm me. But my point is, because it's my house, I don't have to carry this stuff around. I got room for it. I can layer more capability.
Yep.
I'll tell you what I don't have in my house, which I told my wife, which is funny, we need to get these. I don't have any of our buckets in my house. I don't have a wound care bucket. I don't have a burn bucket. I don't have a surgical bucket. I don't have a postpartum bucket. I don't
Lauren
have
and
a
I
birthing
keep
bucket.
talking about that. Like, we need to get at minimum, the wound care bucket and the burn bucket.
It's crazy. We work here and we don't have these things. So like prepper fail for me, noted.
Uh-huh.
I own the company and I don't currently possess these
Right.
products.
I mean, technically, you possess a lot of them. You just.
Yeah.
Just
yes.
not in a home.
They're not in my
like,
house,
If
though.
something happens,
Yeah.
like, okay, let's go to Refuge.
Right.
I have all the way
We've done that.
done that.
Uh-huh.
something
Yeah.
something happened.
So
Our daughter got burned.
I have I have wound care stuff, I have burn care stuff, I have surgical stuff at my house, but I don't have them in the buckets. The cool thing about the bucket is they're, hermetically sealed against everything in a bucket with a gasket lid forever. And they're also transportable. And for me, the way my brain works is they're in a standard 5-gallon bucket, like a lot of other people's preps are. So they fit in with your other preps.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same packaging
Yep.
as your corn, rice, wheat, beans, long-term food storage, whatever. Because that's, if you've spent enough time prepping, you got all these different size containers,
Yeah.
and they don't, and like now you're Tetrising them, and it's like, there's just a part of me that just is screaming.
Mm-hmm.
One of the tabs that's open in my brain is just screaming that this thing is not that. Some of these like freeze-dried food companies, they come in 4.5-gallon buckets. So it's like an inch and a half shorter than
Yep.
every other bucket, and it's just like, why?
Or they're
Why
square.
yeah. Why can't you just put it in a normal bucket? Right? And so my particular ADD is like, we should make something that's just in a standard 5-gallon bucket, like everything else is supposed to be in. So that's an improve for me. I need to improve that, right?
Be better.
And then when we think about plane, ruck, truck, house, plane, what does plane mean? Plane is mobility. It's a way to move patients to a higher level of care or definitive care.
Yeah.
So we want to think about, how do we move patients? Whatever that might be, whether that's a litter or just a quick litter, Skedco litter, a basket, so much so that from a planning standpoint, and if you've been to class with us, especially like the wilderness class, what's the AMBO? Who is the ambulance, right? It's appointing somebody saying, okay, you're lead medic,
Yep.
and that's the AMBO. And it's only used for ambulance stuff, whatever it might be. Now, we can do that when we're training because we dedicate a lot of resources to training, but for everyday civilian life, you know what makes great AMBOs? Minivans. You pull the seats out of the minivan and put 2 patients side by side in there,
Yep.
or 1 patient with somebody working on them. So now I've got a medevac, not a
Ours
casevac.
just lay down. We have a
Oh, that's
minivan.
cool.
Yeah. This is like, it just folds up into this cavity that comes out of nowhere.
So that's cool.
Van?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It
So-
goes completely flat.
Minivan, passenger vans, like church vans and
Yep.
stuff like that. and Sprinter vans. So vans make really good ambos, which is why a lot of ambos look like vans.
Yep.
And then, okay, if you don't have that, a truck with a bed cover on it makes a good ambo as well.
Yeah.
And so it's just moving patients. I got to move patients. And that, again, can be something as simple as a quick litter, something like a NAR backboard. You know, we just did PHTLS, pre-hospital trauma life support, through NAEMT, National Association of Emergency Medical Technicians. We teach more in Responder 3 than that class.
Yeah.
Am I exaggerating?
No, no exaggeration.
I feel like calling Mike over here is a second witness.
But we're like,
But
I mean, so we've seen it and heard it a lot, you know, from reviews and individuals who have taken our courses and such. But they're like, it's like drinking from a water hose. I mean, I'm a fire hose rather.
yep.
You're,
Well, waterboard you with knowledge.
you're getting so much information at once, but you're also being provided the opportunity to experience the information at the same time,
That's so
which
important.
causes it to like really sink in.
It's so much better than death by PowerPoint.
100%.
Like, because not everybody's visual, not everybody's auditory. I'm a kinesthetic person. I want to do it with my hands.
Yep.
Show me how to do it with my hands, and that's part of why our training is so hands-on, right? And it's the model is I do, we do, you do,
Yep.
because that's how I learn. Okay, show me, now do it with me. Now let me do it and observe me doing it.
Yep.
That's our whole train the trainer model. Is that I do, we do, you do. You know, look at Responder 3, which is coming up October 26th, 27th. That's this coming Sunday, Monday, which I think we have a few seats left for. It's already a good sized class, but I think there's a couple of slots left there. So if you're like, hey, I want to come to class, awesome, hit the website. And I believe, is it Responder 20?
No, it's just already discounted.
Oh, it's already discounted. Cool.
Yep.
So the last couple of seats are already discounted. Hold on, I gotta put my ankle kit back on. Cool.
I'm gonna go.
Which that's a smoking deal.
It's a very smoking deal. So in any event, just concepts for y'all. Ruck, truck, house, plane, a layered approach. You can use this for medical, you should, crew served medicine. You can use this for ammunition, you can use this for equipment. You can use this just as simple as, I think about something like calories, okay? You know, I got Cliff Bars in my chest rig. I've got MREs in my day pack. I've got a case of MREs in my truck. Just because, again, experience has taught me there's going to be times that arise, whatever it might be. It might not even be non-emergent. It might be like, hey man, we're gonna drive 4,800 miles round trip to Moyoc, starting now, go.
Yep.
What did we have for lunch at Moyoc?
Oh. I didn't eat lunch.
You didn't eat lunch?
No.
Do you remember what the rest of us had?
You know what? I got one of those little PB&J Uncrustable things from
Davo?
Davo.
Yeah.
That's it.
What he had in the truck. Dudley ate one of my Mountain House. I ate an MRE.
Yep.
I think Ed had a Mountain House too,
Yeah.
because it was just in the truck. So, you know, sometimes stuff comes up and it's like,
I just didn't eat because I was like, yes. I still have several MREs in the truck, but it's like, we all have this stuff. It's constantly there.
Snacking on an MRE at home the other day just because.
yeah. Lauren said I was snacking on an MRE at home the other day just
It
because.
was the sunflower butter with the cracker.
Sunflower butter, yeah.
Over the cracker.
So it's a layered approach to all of this. And so when we think about preparedness, we want to have a layered approach, whatever it might be. Obviously here at Refuge, we're very passionate about pre-hospital trauma medicine. That's what we do in all of its various forms, whether, you know, we've taught literally 7-year-olds up to literally 87-year-olds. We've taught literally stay-at-home moms and school bus drivers to literally Navy SEALs and everybody in between. And it's always a layered approach. And it begins with knowledge. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people miss is like, you should possess the equipment 100%. But handing a rifle to somebody does not make them a rifleman. Possession does not equate to proficiency. It's the same thing with med stuff.
We are not sold out on Responder Series. I'm about to fix it. Something.
Oh, we're not sold out on Responder Series. Lauren's about to fix it, she said.
Okay.
So Lauren's about to fix it. Man, that Black Buffalo smells so good.
You want some?
Nah, I got some Zen in.
Mm,
Thanks, though, bro.
you're welcome.
Thanks, man. I should probably look at this chat. I haven't looked at this chat once
I
while
was
I've been
about to
talking.
be all rapid response for you. You know?
I appreciate that. I have an emergency can of Black Buffalo that's in the center pocket of my chest rig,
Yeah.
below my radio, and it's below the pull tab to pull everything out. It's hard to get at.
Yeah.
That's intentional. That's why
Good
it's
call.
that's why it's still there. Right? It's like break glass in case of emergency.
I'm down to my last log, and I have 2 cans left. I'm like, this is not good. I needed the deployment or.
AVV said, I just got the Trek kit. Easier for my 83-year-old husband to access than our IFAC. I love that. That's awesome. Lauren says, I spoke with you on the phone and helped her pick that one. That's awesome. What's up, Kermode, Bertron, Kevin Timmer, Striker Cade, Simmerwell. What's up, man? Possession does not equal proficiency should be a shirt if it isn't. It's not a shirt, but I like that idea. Jeremiah Noble, what's up, man? Jennifer Lowe, Texas Sheep Lady, Local Prepper, TGBG. Love it. So we want to think about layered approaches. Here's my point.
What's up, Iron Wolf?
Now, a couple other things that I want to touch on this morning. One is we kind of opened the show with this, but I want to reiterate for y'all. The supply chain is getting weird again. I have told y'all for a couple of months now, it feels like immediately post-COVID or immediately post Ukraine war or immediately post-Israel-Hamas. But what's weird is nothing has happened yet. And so it feels like that post-event, but we're now pre-event, question mark. And so I always try and be truthful with y'all. Our suppliers, stuff that we order, that we should, order it on a Monday, get it on a Wednesday or a Thursday, we're now getting shipping notifications that stuff's getting pushed back a week, a couple of weeks, etc.
Yeah.
It's not months. During the height of the Ukraine war, our fulfillment time was 14 weeks. For those that are bad at math, that's 3.5 months. Okay? That's a long time. And we are by no means there. I just want to be clear about that. We're by no means there. And we survived that, and we'll survive whatever comes next. Comma, it's starting to feel frictiony from a supply chain standpoint again.
Yep.
Like, I sit up and take note when nationally compressed gauze just goes away. There's just none available. Like that. Okay, that's an indicator.
It's incredibly cheap, non-hemostatic.
Yeah. It's gauze.
Yeah.
And to the handful of y'all who have reached out, bless you, saying, hey, we want to help you get your gauze machine. I appreciate that deeply. I really do. But the gauze machine is not the first part of the process. There's no room in this building for a gauze machine. So we have to build the 20,000 square foot building next door first. And so we got to do drainage, then dirt work, then concrete, then the shell of the building. Oh, subsurface utilities is there first before concrete.
100%.
Then concrete, then the shell of the building. Then we have to do driveways, access, all of that.
Yep.
Then we have to do HVAC, electrical, plumbing, sewer, then build out, and then gauze machine. So if we pressed play today, and that build out for that building is about $500,000. And I did the math yesterday. I need 92 loads of dirt at 20 yards a load.
Yep.
So just call it 100. Trucked in, dozed, compacted, the whole nine. And culverts and aprons and concrete and blah. Yep. $500,000 to $600,000 just on the building for the shell before we build out. Okay. Then gauze machine.
So now you're looking at a mill.
Yeah, we're in the neighborhood of a mill. And so while I very much so appreciate the handful of y'all who reached out and said, hey, we want to help you get a gauze machine, thank you. It's more than a gauze machine. It's all the things that go into having a home for the gauze machine. Yes.
I don't know why the mobile is letting people pick the class. Desktop is not. It's saying it's sold out. I'm working on it.
Okay.
If you want to order, go through the mobile.
Lauren is saying, I don't know why, but I'm working on it. On the mobile site, so from like your mobile device, existential crisis rectangle, you can transact on Responder 3 right now. And I recommend you do. Please come to class. We rejoice in teaching people life-saving skills.
We'd love to have you.
On the desktop version, like from a computer, right now there's a ghost in the works, and Lauren is ghost hunting currently to figure out why that is, that's not working. Have you tried knife handing it and rebuking it?
Be gone, demon!
Fixed. You nailed it.
I think it's done.
Yeah, that's all it took. So, well, I sit up and take note when like the national supply of compressed gauze, it's just boop, overnight. Can't get it. And what you'll find is, because we've had people call and ask this question too, like, hey, if you guys are having not trouble but friction getting these things, why is it that I can still find it at these other sites? And the answer to that is, I believe, there's one or two answers. Number one, they have much deeper pockets than we do, and or they're spending other people's money, so they're leveraged in debt to buy warehouses full of stuff and sit on it. We don't do that. We don't operate in debt. It's a biblical principle. We bootstrap, okay? What does bootstrap mean? It means I take the little bit of the cream on top, that little bit of profit right there, and I reinvest it in the company, reinvest it in the company, reinvest it in the company. So we own our building, we own our inventory, we own our equipment, it's all paid for. And I like that because it's not like you missed 3 payments and now the bank owns it, which keeps us from having to get desperate. The only ongoing operational expenses there are like utilities and payroll.
Yep.
Praise the Father. So either, air quote, competitors have deeper pockets than us, or they're leveraged in debt, and so they have a giant inventory of stuff that they're working off of, or more likely, they do lower volume than we do. And so Refuge's stuff, when you look at it, apples to apples comparison, just buying an American-made pouch, you can spend as much on just an American-made pouch as you would for a complete kit from Refuge, okay? We don't, our stuff, Terry and Jen and Christine are back here sewing while we're talking. They're making stuff for y'all right now. We don't, we don't get our pouches from Alibaba. They're not overseas manufactured in Vietnam or China or Indonesia or the Philippines.
Terry, you said that and he goes, yeah.
Terry, can you say, thank you very much?
Thank you very much.
Perfect. See, I told you. That, yeah, see, made in India. So we don't do that. We make stuff here.
I think it was just the cookies.
It's just the cookies?
Cash, I had to delete cookies.
Delete your cookies.
Yeah.
Every
Like
one of you should
cookies,
be
y'all.
deleting cookies from your diet anyway, right? Because in the coming unpleasantness, we got to be fast and fit and strong.
Right.
So it's fixed.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Lauren fixed it. Responder 3, you can transact on it now. So from a volume standpoint, the number one purchaser of pre-hospital medical components in North America is United States Department of Defense, Department of War, whichever contract you're reading. The number 2 is law enforcement as a whole. So every single law enforcement agency in North America aggregated together as its own category. So we have the United States Department of War, and we have law enforcement, and we have Refuge Medical, okay, when it comes to retailing. So we move through volume. We are built on volume. The company has always been built on volume because we have low margins. And you're like, well, how do you have a high price and low margins? Because we pay people a living wage, we manufacture in America, and we only use the best components that there are. And so we see trends, all this to say, we see trends in the supply chain sooner than a lot of our competitors do, because we are constantly moving through inventory. Our inventory velocity is very high. I turn over every product in this building weekly. It doesn't sit on the shelves. There aren't warehouses full of inventory. So we see trends in the market sooner than others do. So when I tell you, hey, stuff's, it's getting a little frictiony, getting a little weird again, it's because literally daily, DR, one of his jobs is ordering daily.
Yep.
Right? Daily, he's putting in multiple orders from multiple vendors, multiple orders to the same vendor daily, bringing stuff in and out. Whether that's North American Rescue or TACMed or Medline or whoever the supplier is. And when he's like, hey boss, this thing is getting weird. I got 2,000 of these on order, and they're like, yeah, it's sitting on the shipping dock, and they've been telling me that for 3 weeks.
Yep.
That's a data point. So I bring that to you not because we ever operate out of fear, just because I want to be completely honest with you guys and girls, be truthful with you. That being said, we do have stuff in the store. If it's in the store, it's shipping fast. And you can always call the store, hit the website, use the chat function, shoot us an email. We're up to 160 lives saved. Praise the Most High, which is awesome. We got to update our sign over there.
Give it the old +3.
Yep.
Yeah, we need to update it. Oki said, speaking of cookies, I figured out how to make those chicken snacks.
Oh.
Is that the chips?
I hope so. Saffron Bay said, any others hearing of hospitals losing power recently? Family member told me Midtown Evansville, Indiana hospital lost power about a week ago. Peeps and elevators freaking out, waiting on generators to kick on.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Normalcy bias and not being able to be mentally prepared for just something happen to go wrong. People freaking out in elevators. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand small confined space. You don't know.
Breathe and problem solve.
Yeah,
Do you have a flashlight in your pocket?
Stuff happens, right? So, like, what are you going to do to deal with it?
And if we zoom all the way out, because we have to operate in the tactical, you'll be at 100% of your own emergencies. But if we zoom all the way out, there's a couple of things here. The first is, it's almost like there's a persistent and ongoing zero-day exploit that affects the highest echelons of American society. Where have I been hearing that for a month? And it's almost like there is asymmetric ongoing attacks against the United States grid infrastructure and key infrastructure like hospitals. Where have I been hearing that from for years?
What does asymmetric mean, T?
Oh, asymmetric means that it's not in the way that you would expect it to be. Instead of, I'm mad at this guy, I'm going to punch him in the face. It's, I'm mad at this guy, I'm going to break his cat's leg, and that's going to hurt his daughter's feelings, and then he's going to get a flat tire, and then I'm going to attack around the perimeter until I have conditioned this person to act in the way that I want them to act, so then I can exploit them and I can dominate them in conflict. So.
What the F?
Yeah.
What?
Crazy.
Something on your end?
No, she's never heard asymmetric that way.
I'm like, well, asymmetrical means.
So, listen.
Mine are different.
We are blessed that we have, as part of our instructor cadre, very experienced individuals. We are blessed that we get to train with and train very experienced individuals. We are also blessed that with one of our nonprofits, Caleb House, we get to perform asymmetric things with very experienced individuals. And so the ability to see, it goes back to Pastor Joe and contemplate the unthinkable.
Yeah.
It can be so much worse than people think that it is. So much worse. And people tend to only prepare to up to the level of bad that they can perceive and rationalize. Oh, it'll never get that bad. Therefore, I only need to have this much med. All I need is a Band-Aid. I'll never have a critical bleed. The statistics disagree with you. There's 120 fatal car wrecks a day in the United States of America. Fatal. They wouldn't be fatal in many cases if somebody just slapped a tourniquet on that open compound femoral fracture.
Yeah.
It's facts. I've done it.
Yeah.
Many of us have done it. It's facts. Okay? But people won't think about that. It's like, fingers in their ears, la, 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 la. That'll never happen to me. The potential threats against the homeland, the United States of America, vastly exceed in scope. And this is wink, wink, nudge, nudge. A little birdie told me, vastly exceed in scope what anybody has contemplated or experienced thus far on American soil.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about the Murrah building. We're not just talking about whatever might have happened on 9/11. That's the hors d'oeuvres. That's the appetizer. And even if that's true, multiple things can be true at the same time. It's true that right now, statistically, the most dangerous thing that Americans do is drive. It's also true that the number one cause of preventable death is not diabetes, or whatever. It's uncontrolled bleeding. That's the number one cause of preventable death in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just touch on this too. By the way, the cake runs through the end of the month. So it's our birthday month. $5, you get a chance to win a birthday present from us valued at over $2,000. But what I want to touch on,
You have 8 days.
you've got 8 days, homies. What I want to touch on here, and we'll wrap with this, is we talk about contemplate the unthinkable. We talk about the, possession does not equate to proficiency. Uncontrolled bleeding, statistical likelihood that you're going to need this information. That goes back to training. You got to train. You got to know how to do this stuff. If you don't know how to do it, and then pressure test that. And that's part of what sets us apart, is you got to pressure test it. And the reason I bring this up is I quote a lot of work for churches. I quote a lot of work for corporate entities. I just quote a lot of work for law enforcement agencies. And there's a phrase that I keep hearing over and over and over again, which is, we're looking for something kind of like stop the bleed. Now, I'll take nothing away from the American College of Surgeons, the National Committee on Trauma, and the Stop the Bleed protocol. I'm glad that it exists. I'm glad that it's covered under the Good Samaritan Act. However, it is the tip of the iceberg. It is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the medicine that people actually need to know for the preservation of life in the real world. And even if you take a good stop the bleed class where the instructor allows you to take the tourniquet out of the wrapper, because in many cases, the tourniquet never comes out of the wrapper. In many cases, there's not even tourniquets in the room. It's just a PowerPoint. And people watch the PowerPoint and go, congratulations, you now have a certificate that says stop the bleed. Being frank, you don't know shit because you haven't done it.
You know it?
Right? And so...
Or do you know it?
Exactly. And that's where, again, in the model of Refuge, we look at what the bare minimum requirements are and we go, how do we make this better? Just like our first kit, which was the Bear Fac, which was a spin of, an infantry individual first aid kit, okay? You look at the OSHA compliance kit. It's like, what does OSHA say you have to have? Now let's make it better. Stomp bag. The first time I had a SEAL medic look at my stomp bag, he was pissed because mine was better than his. He's like, where did you get this? I was like, I made it. He was like, oh. So,
where did you get the components list?
Yeah, that was the real question. How do you know what we carry? And it's like, OSINT. I do things on the internet sometimes. And then we go to training, right? It's like, well, we have the March algorithm and the Stop the Bleed protocol. Okay, we can teach that all day, and we do,
Yep.
right? That's the morning of day one lecture and practical application. And prac-app is important, practical application. Can you do it? Not just death by PowerPoint. But that's the crawl phase. Then the walk phase is the afternoon of day one, responder two, which is intro to scenario-based training. The run phase, literally, is day two, responder three. Now let's do it under stress. Now let's start throwing in variables here. Now let's start forcing people to contemplate the unthinkable. What do you mean the casualty is also a combatant? Oh, that shit's real, homie.
Yeah.
And then that in of itself drives home S first, then M.
Right.
How many freaking cops have we trained that didn't get S first, then M?
Oh my God.
Most of them?
Yeah.
Most of them? Security first, then medicine. And security always, then medicine.
Scene safety never stops.
Yep.
And you can't go to render aid if your life is in peril.
And then there's an algorithm for who we render aid to first. It starts with me first, then my partner, right? Anyway, come to class, we teach all this. And so I'm not holding anything against the National Stop the Bleed protocol, but understand being trained in Stop the Bleed means many different things depending on who the instructor is.
Yeah.
And regardless of, even if you have a good instructor, it's never been pressure tested. And that's the important part. I got to be able to do it with automaticity without having to think about it. And then there's the overcoming part. I don't know how many times we've seen that with students. I was just texting with the student the other day, and I know they have some challenges currently, and I was like, hey, you can do hard things. Remember that. I've seen you do hard things. You've seen you do hard things. You can do hard things, right? And we've had, I don't know, hundreds if not thousands of students, and we've had thousands of students, but in that set, I think we've trained over 6,000 people since we started this little company. In that set of students, we've had hundreds if not thousands of experiences with individual students where they are having emotional and psychological reactions to the training stimulus where they are overcoming. It's almost spiritual, and in many cases it is spiritual, by simply doing hard things in a controlled environment. Let's train hard safely now so that when we need it in the real world, I've seen this before. It's just another one of those. And I don't know how many people of the training alumni have gone on to save lives in the real world who have written in and said, hey, training was harder than the real thing. That's what we want. We want training to be harder than the real thing. So when you have to do it for real, you don't freak out. You just do it.
Do you remember the student who almost went to pull their gun that they would have had on me?
Yep.
They reached for it and went, oh my God, I reached for my gun, and thank goodness it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And you made the point that that's why we don't allow weapons, because
Exactly
their initial
why we
thought
disarm.
was that,
Yep.
right? And then we had the lady who came in, just shot everybody right off the bat. Like,
Uh-huh.
we had a cop do that. Like, you just don't understand what you're gonna do. You think you know what you're gonna do until you're in the situation.
Yeah. And we get into the physiology of that in class.
That's why meekness is so important.
That's a good word.
That's exactly why. Because you have to have the discernment. Just because you have the capacity for violence doesn't mean you have to use it. Some situations necessitate it. Most don't. But a lot of people who carry or have the ability to appropriate, quite legitimately deadly violence against another, shouldn't. They should not have the capability to, though they possess the capacity. We have to operate with a certain level of discernment so that we can know and understand truly what the situation dictates.
Do you remember a couple ruckuses ago, there was the nighttime shoot set up in this building?
Yep.
And when that was all set up, Bob, when he was still here, the day of, he's like, "Boss, let me show you." You know, Bob was always doing this. He's like, "Boss, let me show you what we got going on." He's wiggling, and he's like, "I'll explain the scenario to you." I was like, "Don't, just let me run it." He's like, "Okay, cool." And so we have a training rifle, and he puts role players in there, casualties and aggressors and the whole nine. And I just walked through. And Jadis was here at the time, who's now a law enforcement officer as well.
I'm very proud of him.
Same. And he was one of the aggressors. Anyway, I walked through, and there's casualties on the ground. They're screaming, they're bleeding. Aggressor up, bop, 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 shoot him to the ground, pie this corner, bop, 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 shoot the other aggressor, casualty, casualty, sweep through, come back out, walk past the second casualty who's screaming, back to the first casualty, begin to render aid. And Bob's like, "Okay, index." I was like, "What's up?" He goes, "Is it not hard enough?" I was like, "No, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great for the students." And he's like, "You just aced that in like, you had 2 bad guys down and began rendering aid in 18 seconds. I was like, "Yeah, because I've seen it before. I've seen it before. If that guy can scream, he's got an airway.
Yep.
He's respirating. This one is non-vocal. Okay, so that tells me there's significant blood loss. So when it comes to triage, prioritization of care,
Yep.
right? Bad guys down first. Am I up? Yep, I'm up. Okay, walk past the screaming one. Go to the one that's not screaming, because that's indicative of level of consciousness and blood loss.
100%.
Begin working the problem." And he's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "It's a great scenario. Because the second aggressor was hidden." I was like, "Save it. Run it just like that. It's going to be great for the students." And I'm no one. I just get to train thousands of people, and I've been trained by dozens of people that know what they're doing. So the stress inoculation's already there.
Yep.
The problem solving, it's like, it's just another one of these. We're just here now. And like the first aggressor, shoot them to the ground.
Yep.
Make sure they're down. Disarm them. Second aggressor, shoot them to the ground. Down, disarmed, detained. How many times have we taught that to LEOs? Like, those 3 things matter. It's not just down. It's down, disarmed, detained. Then move along.
Make sure that that threat is no longer a threat.
100%.
Detained, you have to remove their firearm, cuff them, remove their capability.
Yeah, take their hands away from them, especially if you're an LEO. You have the legal right to do that and the tools to do it with, and the training to do it with.
Yep.
Take their hands away from them. That's what they're going to hurt you with, and you put them face down on the ground. You don't put them on their butt with their back against the wall, because now you've given them their largest muscle groups in their body, their quads, and something to push against the wall in order to stand up and run away, or run into you, or whatever it might be. So down, disarmed, detained, face down, hands behind their back, handcuffed. And there's not a jury on earth that's going to get you on that when somebody was trying to kill you.
Yep.
Okay, so you're authorized in that. So all that to say, like, the training matters. And so the more you do it, the less you have to think about it, the more automaticity you develop. That's what we do at Refuge Training. And we actually, there's a force-on-force component to R3 that's coming up, 26, 27. And I believe Lauren fixed that in the store. So that's what I got for y'all today. Make sure to get a piece of cake. It's $5, $2,000 plus prize. One of y'all is going to get our birthday present. Come to class. Please let us train you.
The discount's already there.
Kits are available on the store. If you need a kit for your ruck, for your EDC, for your house, for your truck, for your plane, literally or figuratively, we got you on that. And if there's something you need that's not on the store, if you can't see it, that doesn't mean I can't get it. So please contact us, call the store. I'm actually working up a field hospital for a civilian application right now.
Yeah.
We do field hospitals for other entities as well. And they had some interesting parameters. They're like, "Hey, we want this to be able to fit inside of this size enclosed trailer. You know, what's that going to cost?" I'm like, "You got it." So I'm working on pricing on that right now. So our capabilities exceed what you see front facing on the website. That's our standard direct-to-consumer fare. If you need anything, call us, hit us on the store, send us an email, use the chat function. If there's any way we can serve you, we're happy to do it. What do you got, Raren? Abe Tweakin.
Yep, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Abe Tweakin. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Okay, bye.
Toodles.
Cello.